This is the kid that sang Chick-fil-A song, baby.
Playing in the playset, singing my song. Sipping on some Sprite with some Powerade along. Eating my McNuggets, they kinda crispy. Waiting on my sauce, cause all my women miss it. Hey.
I'm Jace.
I'm Scotty.
And I'm your host, Dawson. And you're watching
On the Clock.
Or no, yeah, he had 3 touchdowns.
well, there are, I think, 6 leagues. Yeah. And so if you're bottom,
Yeah, Wichita State, we won the past
Go.
All right, Scotty, thank you for that preview of what's the song called? Dawns. Dawns is dropping next Tuesday, the 21st.
How many points you got?
Oh, don't worry. We're cooking it up in the studio. Don't worry.
So Dawns is dropping the 21st. But anyways, we're going to get into this. The Super Bowl, biggest event in sports, happened Sunday, a couple days ago. Chiefs obviously came out on top. We're all hyped about that. So the commercials, talk about those first, get this out of the way. Were atrocious.
Yeah, they weren't very good.
They were really bad.
I was excited. Some of the movies, though.
The movies did look good.
Saw the Transformers one.
Yeah, that one looked good.
The new Flash one.
That Michael Jordan one?
That one looks really good, yeah. And then, I don't know if we can say this, but the Blank Bear movie, that one looks solid.
Yeah.
I think that one will be fun. And then the Tubi commercial, holy cow. I think that got everybody in America. No question. I know it got me. I went out of YouTube TV and I went back in because I thought someone, did something. But
Yeah, that got me.
There was also that Grady Dick commercial.
that one was, I'll admit, that one was pretty cool.
I know you liked it.
But probably some of the worst commercials we've seen, but probably one of the best games that there's been in a while. But Mahomes was 21 of 27 with 182 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 44 rushing yards on that bum ankle, which really, if you do the math, it's like 85 on his ankle. So, Jace, what did you think about Mahomes? At halftime, I thought he was done. Henne was going to come out and be the superhero in the second half.
Yeah, we didn't even really need Henne that much. He retired a legend in KC, so
He had a cold drink in his hand and a trophy in the other.
Yep, so Patrick Mahomes came out second half amazing. It didn't even look like his ankle bothered him.
No.
He came out, I think it was in the fourth quarter, couple minutes left, and he had that really long, 40-yard play or whatever. So, he didn't look like it bothered him too much to an extent. But in the end, it's still a hurt ankle, so I could see him this offseason taking care of his body now.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a surgery for that or if he needs surgery. But if that's the version of Mahomes we get next year, I wouldn't be mad about it. Yeah. I don't think he's going to win MVP on that ankle, but you never know. All right, Kelsey, pretty big game, 6 receptions for 81 yards and a touchdown. What do you think of the other receivers that kind of pitched in?
Yeah, Kelsey kind of owned the first half, I feel like.
That first drive was...
It was like give Kelsey the ball. Mm-hmm. I think after that, they started realizing Eagles don't let Kelsey, don't die on wanting Kelsey to get the ball. So then Juju ended up getting 7 receptions for 53 yards. Mm-hmm. He's been kind of getting up there in receptions, I feel like.
Maybe not the most yardage, but he's definitely getting those targets, which for PPR next year could be something to keep an eye on if he stays in Kansas City.
Yeah, and then you also got Pacheco, who they said to give him the ball, and he just powers. He is, my dad says, he is a ball of energy. Mm-hmm. That guy just keeps running, and the way he runs is just kind of funny to watch.
It's almost kind of like another version of Deuce. Okay, and then on the defensive end, there's 7 rounds. But on the defensive end, Bolton had that scoop and score, which was huge, big momentum play. And then he almost had a forced fumble that ended up in the end zone.
The second one.
It should have been called, but it was overturned, which is whatever. We came out on top. I'm not complaining. Kadarius Toney also had a touchdown and a record-breaking 65-yard punt return for 65 yards. But that play, I was scrolling through my Twitter feed this morning, and there was an interview with Andy Reid. That play where he walked into the end zone for that touchdown, the play call was corn dog.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it was trips right, Vegas, whatever. It was corn dog. He goes, did Mahomes actually say corn dog in the huddle? He goes, yeah, the play call is corn dog. All right.
I really wish they ran snow glue.
They ran a little one where they ran.
They did, yeah. The camera just didn't cut over quick enough.
They should have after it happened.
Yeah, and then Hurts also had an amazing game. He had 304 yards, a passing touchdown, 70 rushing yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns. Do you think he was deserving of Super Bowl MVP? If they would have won, he obviously would have got it.
Yeah,
but
if they won, he obviously would have. But it's hard to give it to the other team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that just kind of. I mean, of course, fans want that to happen because he had probably one of the better games of his career.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A really good game, fighting back and forth with a Mahomes, which is hard to do. But I think that if they had won, he for sure would have gotten it. But I think you kind of have to give it to a Chiefs player.
Yeah.
Just because it's not happens very often.
Yeah.
But I mean, he had a really good game, and I wouldn't hate him getting it.
Yeah. Okay. And then Devonta Smith had 7 receptions for 100 yards. AJ for 6 for 96 and a touchdown. Both played very well. I wouldn't be surprised if they were back next year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we had a rematch next year.
Possible.
I don't think that the Eagles are going to have quite as easy of a schedule because they had, I mean, let's be honest, they had a pretty cakewalk of a regular season schedule.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go to commercial real quick, and then we're going to be back with a little bit more Super Bowl talk, and then we're going to have some Super Bowl trivia.
Being a part of Rock Solid does take its toll on the crew.
Thanks for watching, and stay rock solid.
Cut! After we finish, we have to do it all over again for the foreign exchange students.
Buenos días, amigo. Ben tiene un pene.
Okay, welcome back from that lovely commercial. Okay, so we were talking about this before the break. The Chiefs have been to 4 Super Bowls in 4 years. Wait, is it 4 in 5 years and 2 rings?
It's 3 in 4 years.
3 in 4 years and 2 rings. Has the dynasty officially arrived?
It's hard to call it a dynasty just because of how stacked the AFC is. But I mean, they might have started just without Tyreek Hill this year.
And that's a whole other thing you could get into.
You didn't think, like, not you, but most people didn't think they would win the AFC this year.
We weren't picked to win our division.
There were people saying we would finish last in the AFC West.
Yeah, that obviously didn't happen.
Yeah, the AFC West was a cakewalk this year, and I think next year it'll be a little harder, maybe. But I don't think it'll be as easy as this year. I think the Broncos will improve, but I think you could call this a dynasty. Yeah.
Jace, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you could maybe see Raiders maybe getting a few more pieces, Broncos, but I mean, other than that, I mean, the AFC West isn't the best.
It's a solid division.
Yeah, it's not the best. So like, what's the Eagles division? Is that the East? Yeah, the East.
Yeah.
Like that's a really good division. Yeah, the Cowboys, Eagles. I mean, those are 2 really good teams.
The Giants are doing really good too.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and then Andy Reid is a top blank coach of all time.
3?
Who are you putting over him, Madden and Belichick?
Yeah.
Because that's who I have him as the third.
I would put him at 3.
Behind Madden and Belichick. Jace?
I could see that, but since I'm biased, I'm gonna go 3. But he ain't, top 3, and he ain't 2 or 3.
Okay. And then what were your thoughts on the halftime show?
Awful. That was awful.
Terrible.
I did not enjoy that at all. There was a bunch of marshmallows chasing after her, and I was concerned. But I don't know. I liked some of her songs. I think it got better towards the end because some of my favorite songs from Rihanna, just her better well-known songs, were towards the end.
They're good songs, but played though, they were terrible. Like how the dances and all of it to it was just not good.
Yeah, it was something. Okay, and then the Chiefs open as next season favorites to repeat at plus 550, and the Eagles are 4th at plus 800. I think that's respectable. I mean, obviously, the Rams were the favorite last year to reopen as Super Bowl champs.
And we're
I'm pretty sure any Super Bowl champs the next season are going to be the favorite, unless it's like.
You see how high the Bills were? I didn't like how high the Bills were in this one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just feel like I put the Bengals over them.
I saw a mock where they got Bijan Robinson. No. That could be insanely scary.
There's no way he drops that far unless they trade up for him. To the Bills, you say anything, right?
Yeah, I had him going at 27 or whatever. I don't know. We haven't gotten into our draft stuff yet. That'll probably come up here in a month or so after March Madness. Okay, we're going to go to trivia where Adam Bilby will join the show. Scotty, you gonna say goodbye? Yep.
Don's.
Yep, Don's the 21st?
Yep.
February 21st, 2, 21, 23. Okay, we're going to go into trivia right now. All right, welcome to our Super Bowl trivia. We are joined by Adam Bilby. So our first question, the quarterback that has the most Super Bowl wins, the player that has the most Super Bowl wins, Tom Brady. How many career rushing yards does he have? A, 296, B, 507, C, 942, or D, 1,123?
He's played a long time, but I mean, he's not known as a rusher, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm going either the 200 one or the 500 one, right?
Yeah, 507.
I feel like he just kind of threw in that low one, so I'm gonna go 500.
All right, Bilby.
I'm gonna go 200.
296. All right, this surprised me. But when I was doing some research, comparing Brady to Mahomes, through their first 4 seasons or whatever, and I couldn't get it to filter out. But Tom Brady, through his career, had 1,123 rushing yards.
Ain't no way.
Yeah, that's nuts to me. Okay.
Was that the last answer that you had?
Yeah. All right. Before Kadarius Toney's 65-yard punt return, what was the previous Super Bowl record? 61 by Jordan Norwood, 58 by Devin Hester, 54 by Deion Sanders, or 42 by Danny Amendola?
I'm gonna go Devin Hester.
Devin Hester?
Yeah.
I'm between Amendola. What was the third one?
Deion.
I'm gonna go Amendola. He has more shots to probably break the record.
No, actually, I have no idea if that one's even correct. No, it's A, Jordan Norwood for 61. I had no idea who the guy was. It was in.
No, I
think it was in Super Bowl 50 between the Broncos and Panthers. Okay, this one's a little bit easier than those last two. What famous jeweler makes the Lombardi Trophy? A, Gucci, B, Jocelyn's, C, Tiffany, or D, Cartier?
I'm pretty sure it's Tiffany.
You going Tiffany?
Yeah.
All right, Bilby?
I'm gonna go Cartier.
Cartier?
Yeah, Cartier. Yeah.
All right, Barry's finally on the board with point Tiffany. What team has played in 4 Super Bowls but never held a lead? The Bills, the Browns, the Vikings, or the Titans/Oilers?
I'm gonna go with Vikings.
Okay, Bills, I don't even think have been to a Super Bowl.
No, the Bills have been.
All right. What was the answers again?
Bills, Browns, Vikings, or the Titans/Oilers?
I'm gonna go Titans/Oilers. I don't know why you'd put the Titans and Oilers.
Well, so the Oilers rebranded to be the Titans.
I know. I'm gonna go with them. It's
No.
either that.
It's the Vikings. The Vikings have played in 4 Super Bowls, never held a lead. Shout out to Trayton and Cameron.
Yep, shout out to Trayton Hill. That's all we ran into that.
Okay. Who was the first wild card team to win the Super Bowl? The Raiders, the Patriots, the Bucks, or the Cowboys?
I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. What was the Bucks record last year?
They didn't win it last year. They weren't even in it last year.
The playoff?
The year before. Were they a wild card team or were they like the 2 seed?
No, it would destroy the point of the trivia question if I told you.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They probably did. I'm gonna go Patriots.
You guys are right. It was the Raiders. So that is all we have for today. We did have some breaking news while we were filming. The Eagles OC Shane Shifen, I'm not sure how you say his last name, was hired by the Colts to be their head coach. So that's something to keep an eye on. I think he might be able to turn that offense around. Shout out to Jeff Saturday. He did a good job while he was there. But that's all we have for you today, and we will be back on Friday or Tuesday with an NCAA show.